What?
Well, we are back again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Johnny Bottles. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. The man to my left is Dr. Don Wayne. You know him, you love him from Twitter, the Twitterverse, Twix. He is the neckbeard psychologist, setting all the young men out there with the orange fingers straight. Go outside, touch some grass, say hello to a woman, even if she's the mail carrier in your neighborhood. No, yeah, it might not be a good idea to run up on the mail carrier in your boxer shorts with orange fingers.
Maybe
you don't want
to smoke some grass.
Smoke some grass. I'm going to do that in about an hour and a half.
Easy cowboy.
Hey now. Right now is our WrestleMania prediction show. The only thing we're going to talk about with AEW will be.
We got to talk about this first.
We're going to talk about that first because it's the freshest news out there in the IWC. What were the ratings for AEW Dynamite last night, Don? The show that put them over the limit to make them the longest running wrestling program in TBS history.
Here's my question to you. Let's just say this. We said, by the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I said it would be 683. I thought if they were going to have a big show, this was the time to do it. This was when they had to pull the trigger. They had to put some entertaining products on television to get the casual viewer back engaged. I said 683. You said what, 562?
No, I said 605.
Okay. They came in at 624. So we met in the middle.
Yes.
We watched it last night. As everybody joined us last night, thank you all for being back. Yes. But we watched it last night, and the opening match was good. I thought it was a good opening match. I'm not going to take anything away from it. But then they deteriorated from there, and they showed the Bucks, and I'm 90% sure they ran 100,000 fans off when they showed them on TV. They've been gone for 6 months, and it still doesn't feel like it's been long enough. No one wants to see these guys. The entire angle they're being brought back for doesn't make any sense. They ran away because they were shredding paperwork models. It just doesn't, none of this adds up to me as making any sense. So that's just me. And we are now officially, deadlocked into where this Cracker Clan's going and nothing about it. Even them turning over the trios titles really sold because they had to, because they lost Pac with a broken ankle. Like that's where we are.
Yes. Is it actually broken?
That's what I've heard, is that it's broken. I can't confirm it.
Gotcha.
So
I think they saw Monet actually beat Athena. Toni Storm is up in the balcony doing whatever she was doing. And then, it sucks. I wanted Athena to win. Can't this woman ever lose a match? Next segment, like you said, the Young Bucks came out, and that was it, baby. That was it. Done. And even though the Takeshita and Ospreay match had its moments,
it just went on too damn long.
Too long. The non-selling bullshit that they do, that nonsense. I mean, he tried to put together a good show, but he needs a booker. We keep saying it over and over again. The man needs to hire a booker, a professional wrestling booker who can format a show. Don't believe Joe Blow in the back. Hey, yeah, I know how to write a wrestling show.
I did this on a video game once.
Yay. I had an E-Fed, just like you, Tony, remember? Yeah.
We did it in the basement together, only you were in a humongous mansion.
We did it in the basement together, Tony. Remember I tied you up? And your pants fell off?
Easy, cowboy. Easy. Here's the other part about this, because Dave Meltzer was in the news again for his unbelievably...
What is he not in the news, Don?
Horrible takes. No, this is where it gets even worse. Dave Meltzer said, Tony Khan has built a wrestling company from the ground up. He should be applauded for his efforts. The billionaire son that was gifted hundreds of millions of dollars built something from the ground. Let's be real here. He bought a bunch of wrestlers. He already had TV contacts from his dad's Jaguars and soccer teams. He didn't build anything from the ground up. He didn't do anything amazing. If you've got $500 million and 5 years later you have $0 million, you didn't build shit. You lost money. So stop with that nonsense.
He did do.
God knows how much they lost. How much they lose on that video game alone.
in 2018, he did do his due diligence because he was a WWE fan at the time. He saw all the shows. He went to all the shows, and he got invited backstage for a couple of WWE shows down in Florida. He went backstage and perused the environment and all that, and whatever he learned in those perusals, that scenic tour of a backstage wrestling WWE show, he just threw it all out the window, and he relied on, people underestimate the contribution of Cody Rhodes to AEW in terms of
Cody Rhodes, Cody.
In terms of backstage production, formatting, writing, doing whatever. Cody Rhodes saw a lot. He must have absorbed a lot of knowledge when he was watching Michael Hayes and Vince and all those guys put a show together.
Too, for God's
and his
sakes.
dad in NXT. His dad was running NXT at the time. So, yeah.
But again, when Cody left, that's when the real wheels really started falling off. And then when Punk left behind him like a year later, it's just gone to shit. They have, and everybody wants to know, well, who would you hire? Who would you hire? There are ex-wrestling minds out there that are retired backstage right now at WWE that they could hire and pay them a little bit more money, and they'd come over and say, okay, hey, look, I need you 4 guys to come over here. There's wrestlers out there that have a great mind for the business. You're not going to hire an older guy, but get some of these freshly retired guys. That's what I'd do.
He's got 2 older guys on the payroll. He's got Jake Roberts, who's just sitting home doing nothing on an oxygen tank. He could just say, Jake, I don't want you on TV anymore. I want you to sit back here and help me write a show. And he's got Jeff Jarrett. Those 2 guys alone could help with promos. They could write promos for guys, and they could also format the show and come up with some ideas. But he's not listening to any of them. He'd rather hire agents like Chris Hero, who hasn't done
the
guy's done nothing in wrestling except for gain weight in NXT and get shit canned.
He likes to listen to all the indie darlings, and that's sort of the point is the indie darlings didn't make it for a reason. That shit is to a very niche audience, and let's be honest, wrestling is the nichest of audiences in this country.
Yes,
it's right up there with soap operas, right?
Yes.
There's a reason there's like a soap opera left. That whole demographic bailed. All the baby boomers and the greatest generation ever, they're gone now. They're getting out of that. That's why they're going away. That's what watched it. The WWE, while it's shrunk, and let's be honest, it shrunk because there's not 7 million people watching anymore, but I believe there's still around 5 million, and I think they're chewing it up in way different ways than they ever have before. I think they're watching the clips from the shows, and they're not watching the full-blown 3-hour SmackDown anymore. I can go to TikTok, get my feel of what I want to watch out of the show, and be done with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't need people, after the show going into YouTube comments, leaving comments about, you're casting aspersions on the talent of Chris Hero. Chris Hero was a great wrestler until he had thyroid problems and his whole physique went to shit, and he got lazy. And I don't know why he didn't want to lose the weight or didn't want to work out when he was at NXT. That's not my concern. Chris Hero was a good wrestler, like right around the turn of the century.
I don't know the guy. I don't give a shit.
He was in a tag team in Ring of Honor with Claudio Canoli. The Kings of Wrestling was the name of their tag team, and he was actually in shape, and he's a good wrestler. And I won't say he's got a great mind for the business. I've never spoken to Chris Hero. Never even heard an interview with Chris Hero. But they've got him working as an agent backstage. He's probably going, they'll do whatever they want to do, Tony. He's got Jerry Lynn backstage.
There's plenty of ex-wrestlers that are out there that are either recently retired or about to be recently retired, and older minds as well. You don't even have to have them in the office every week. Just call them for booking ideas. That's all you need. I need a finish. I need this. I need that.
Who would listen? Backstage.
Well, that's the other problem.
Who would listen? Well, they've been running amok for so long, for the last 6 years. I would just go look at that roster and say, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. We're not waiting for your contract to run out. You're done. So and just move on. You got to move on. You got to keep it moving. You got to adapt to the times, to the business. And they're all shitting on Triple H as he's doing his big PR week for WrestleMania. Oh, this is what is this PR week? Because AEW Dynamite's passed Nitro as the longest running wrestling program on TBS. Bullshit. That's not it. That's not why he's doing it. It's WrestleMania week. People are coming out of the woodwork. People are coming out of the woodwork at interviews. Nick Khan's doing interviews. Punk's doing interviews.
Hey,
everybody.
Bottles, you know what that's called?
What's that called?
Marketing.
Marketing, exactly. Which they have. His idea of marketing, Tony Khan's idea of marketing is
here we go.
Paying money at the airport for an ad on a big screen.
Right.
Juan says, thanks for the 5-spot, Juan. Sickos will say WWE had a 30-year head start, but fail to say that AEW had billions of dollars head start. That's correct. That's correct.
I just listened to the book Death of the Territories. They do a really good job over what Vince McMahon did. He literally was spending probably 75% of the money he made to get his product in new markets. He was paying Los Angeles television to run his show. Hey, I'll pay you and you get to keep the ad spots. He got out there and got in front of this. He got a loan from his dad that was like 3 balloon payments. That's insane. If he missed any of them, he defaulted on the loan with all the other ones. The other shareholders that were of note were Gorilla Monsoon. He didn't just get gifted this thing. This was $1 million in like 1980. Do the math. That's a lot of money even by today's standards.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely.
That book was amazing. It really went into detail of it, how Jim Crockett just got insane with his spending, buying people out. Vince McMahon would go back on deals when he felt like the promoters that he bought out did him wrong. Case in point, the Hart family, because he bought out the Calgary area, and then Stu Hart started running Calgary again. He said, I'm not paying you any more money. You're running shows again opposed to me. That's not what we agreed to. So it's an interesting book. If you get a chance, listen to it. Thank you again, Juan. I agree. The 30-year head start is a bunch of bullshit. Vince McMahon started off with his father's promotion in a territory and took it not just nationwide, but it's global. He took it global before he started shitting on people's heads.
Now we're back to this again. The idea of marketing that Tony Khan has is putting out that a black Britt Baker shirt with her with the black eye. Big Black and Jacked, that T-shirt for Powerhouse Hobbs.
Horrible marketing ideas.
Some of the merchandise that they come up with is just absolutely amateurish. I mean, a housewife could do better with what are those? Call those things a cricket?
A sponge?
No, the sponge. Is a sponge worthy? A cricket. C-R-I-C-U-T. If you see those things that housewives have, they make iron-on transfers. They make T-shirts. They make, right in their home. They can do better shirts than what these guys are cooking up. The brain trust at AEW.
You know what else last night's show shows me?
What's that?
As a fan? Fans don't want to watch 20, 25, 30-minute matches every match. We don't want to see that. There is something called an 8-minute match where you get in, you get your shit in, and you get over fast.
Right.
Studs mentioned it. Block Larry's mentioned it on Twitter several times. They've all talked about it. Those were not bad days. It's, again, talk me into wanting to watch you or pay money to come see you. If you show me everything you can do on television, why do I want to buy a ticket?
Now, there's certainly talented wrestlers in AEW. You just saw them last night. But they're left to their own devices and putting matches together, which they shouldn't be. It should be supervised, of course, because you're going to get what you got last night, half-hour matches. The long matches should be reserved for the pay-per-views, I think.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Yes.
Get all your shit at the pay-per-view, but even then, you don't have to do every damn move you know how to do. Save something for later.
Spiked bats, fighting outside the ring, going through tables, all that bullshit. All that should be reserved for big moments in certain matches, not every freaking match. But we talked about that all the time, too. I feel like every week we're just rehashing everything every week. It's the same old. The last night the definition of insanity is.
I know.
If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you expect a different outcome.
Yeah, I'll shut you up.
Denisha. Thanks for the $99.99. Good Lord, woman. Your favorite girl's here. You're my favorite girl, honey. Hey, Donna Bottles.
Love you.
This covers the StreamYard fee for 2 months. Hey, Donna Bottles, your favorite girls here. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. Let's get predictions on. I was looking on your YouTube, so Roman made headlines about politics.
There we go. I was going to get to this.
Let's dive into that on him, like you, Trump. I think those fans are a bunch of sickos. Try to starting things up. Enjoy the week. We're going to enjoy the week. It's going to be a great weekend of wrestling. Collisions on the night, Don, if you haven't heard.
I can't see you over this humongous $99.99 spot. You're over there.
That's
somewhere.
a lot of coin right there, pal. A lot of coin.
Denisha, you're good for a while, honey. You ain't got to. We'll throw you up, I promise, for a while.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
But no, we're going to talk about the just throw it up there one time. We're going to talk about the predictions coming up, Denisha. I promise you. Going to get your thoughts on it as well. You've definitely earned it. But
so
here's
Roman
my thing about Roman Reigns.
Yeah, let's get a Vanity Fair interview. Have you seen the pictures?
Yeah.
He looks like a Hollywood star.
Yeah,
poolside.
They did that months ago, though.
They did?
Yeah, I saw when they were doing the shoot for it. It was months ago. It's kind of surprising that it just now came out.
Well, it's WrestleMania week.
Well, that's true. Maybe it was sped up for this. So here's the thing about Roman Reigns voting for Trump, right?
He's a Democrat, but who cares?
I don't give a shit who he voted for.
Right.
Just like Holly Weird, I don't give a shit what they say about politics. I want you to entertain me. I don't care who you vote for, just like my athletes that I pull for. I don't care who they vote for. They don't live in the reality of you, me, and Johnny over here. They're different incomes, man. I do well for myself, but I'm not a multi-millionaire working what I feel free to. I don't care who he voted for. And people have let politics completely ruin everything in life right now, especially social media. It's just become horrendous right now.
But, buddy, it's like the Republicans versus the Democrats is like AEW fans versus WWE fans. Think about it. There's tribalism everywhere. There's tribalism in politics.
There is.
And there's tribalism in professional wrestling. What happened to just liking something?
Exactly.
I like a hot dog with ketchup and relish, and you like yours with mustard.
Yeah, because I'm sane.
But that doesn't mean. See how you are now. You're like a tribalist. Now you're being tribalistic.
Well, I'm not the one that's putting disgusting things on hot dogs. Just saying. But again, it doesn't matter who he votes for. Vote for who you feel is best for the country. Just the people losing their shit over it, those are the people that I would never invite to my barbecue because they want to talk politics every time they walk in the door. That's how they are.
I saw that story on Twitter, and right away, F you, Roman Reigns, the first comment right
away. Yeah, it's insane.
It's his opinion. It's a free country. People don't realize it's a free country. You can vote for whoever you want to vote for. And he said he's a centrist. He calls it that. He's a Democrat, but he looks at things realistically, and he plays it right down the middle. That's what being a centrist is. You're in the center of the argument or what have you.
Thank you, Block Larry. I agree. Shame on them for actually doing stuff
Lawrence.
like this.
Lawrence from New Orleans, a big fan of women's wrestling.
The other part, though, is that they're wishing harm on the guy, man. Like, for real? Like, you're that far gone that you wish someone harm because they don't think the same way you do.
Right.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your skull? Go outside and do something in the real world. Too many of these assholes, man.
These kids nowadays, they are just. I went on the one who said F you, Roman Reigns. I went on her page, and she's a psycho. Just looks like a psycho. Just looks
Pablo
like a
says, "What up, homies? That shit last night was hilarious. Thank you, man. We're glad you came in here. I hope everybody had a good time last night. I know I sure as hell did. I know I did.
You really would have liked that candle bottles." Who said that? Block Larry, the great Block Larry.
So there's also rumors going around, by the way, about The Rock this weekend.
Do you think he'll show up at WrestleMania?
I think he will, but I mean,
of course he's going to.
Hold on, the story that I read. This is how bad wrestling people are as far as the shit they say. For what it's worth, there's increasing speculation that some individuals within WWE are hoping The Rock will appear at WrestleMania this weekend. Viva Las Vegas. Dude, are you kidding me right now? This is your guys' idea of reporting. This is why you can't listen to these dirt sheets or read them anymore, man. All of it is horse shit, dude.
It's all ridiculous. Of course he's going to be there. Travis Scott's going to be there. They've known about his schedule, where his appearances for the company, and on this weekend, they know that. It was written in stone months ago what they're going to do. He's gonna be an integral part of the Cena match. So why wouldn't he be there?
I don't know, nor do I care. I hope to see him. Either way, here's my point on the Rock part of this.
Yes.
It wasn't needed. Nothing he's done has really added to the hype around Mania. If anything, has been a detriment, in my opinion.
Because it's dragging things out, and it's like they put the brakes on everything.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense when he came out there, and here we are 4 months later, and I'm still like, I don't know what he had. Why did they need to bring him out? He added no value.
Cody Rhodes had a feud with Roman Reigns for the belt, and Roman Reigns is a part-timer. And Cody Rhodes kept that feud going. Now they've got Cody Rhodes in a feud right now with 2 part-timers, The Rock and John Cena.
John Cena sucks.
You know what I heard about John Cena, though?
I don't know.
His time is now.
That is right. It is right now. We are going to start getting into our WrestleMania predictions. I've been waiting for this. I'm excited. The first night, night 1, this is what's been announced so far.
Yeah, so let's take it one at a time.
Yeah, I am. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I've got high hopes for this match just from a standpoint of watching it. That's sort of my thing. And it sort of feels like this might be, I've been hearing rumors, this might be Rey Mysterio's swan song. This might be his last Mania as an active performer. He hasn't said anything publicly, but there's a feeling that he's now, what is he, damn near 50, right?
He's 50 now, yeah. Will he go out? Will he go out during the tried and true tradition of putting someone over? Will he leave on his back? Mask versus mask, maybe?
I think it might lead to that eventually, or a retirement versus mask match. That's sort of where I see it going from here out to like SummerSlam. I don't think this match ends the feud that they have. I've enjoyed I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. I have been enjoying the El Grande Americano bit for a long time since it started. It's been really entertaining for the last 2 months.
Did you see that picture of Vince? They took Chad's body and they photoshopped Vince's head holding the El Grande Americano mask.
I did not see that. Denisha says she's going for Rey. I think El Grande wins this match.
I think it's going to be shenanigans and it won't be a clean finish. Then they'll probably have in the next pay-per-view his retirement match, or they might wait till SummerSlam, make a big presentation out of it. That's the summer WrestleMania, you know.
Yeah.
That's going to be 2 nights.
I think El Grande wins. You think Rey Mysterio wins. You think a no contest. You got to give me a winner. Can't go no contest. Can't do that. Got to give me a winner. They don't do no contest at WrestleMania.
I think El Grande will win via cheating.
Of course he will.
Of course. Yes.
He's a heel.
The Creeds will be there. Ivy Nile will be out there. The whole 9 yards. He's got the gimmick in the mask.
LWO's going to be out there.
Yeah. He's got the old gimmick with the piece of metal, the coin, and the mask.
Do you think this leads off the show, or it's the middle of the show on night 1?
Middle of the show.
I agree. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. This has been a buildup that I didn't think I was going to like. Jade is still not the best in-ring worker. She looks like $1 million. She has something in her personality. She's decent on the mic when she's limited. Right. Naomi has been showing me something I never thought I'd see. I never thought I'd see Naomi pull off the heel villain the way she has. It's been amazing. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is going to be Jade's time to shine at the WrestleMania, and I believe she wins. And I do not believe that we find that. We'll talk about night 2, but you've got a different process here. So go ahead.
I believe Jade will win. And Naomi, it will come to the point where Naomi's just after the match, she's still getting her ass kicked, still getting beat down. And the ages run out. And I think that Naomi's going to say, Bianca made me do it. Bianca made me do it. Bianca told me to do it. Bianca made me do it. And then the next night.
This is why I don't think it works. This is why
I think that Jade's going to interfere in that match.
I don't think you can let that cat out of the bag until night 2, but I'll get into my theory in a minute. So that's your theory.
That's my theory.
Okay.
And so supposedly I heard on night 2, the leadoff match will be that women's 3-way championship.
You are correct. That's probably going to lead it off.
Yes.
World Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders versus New Day.
This will lead off night 1.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Because this is a match nobody wants to see.
I've got another match that I think leads off night one.
Okay. I think this leads off night one, and this is a match that nobody wants to see. I don't even care about it. They ruined the New Day's heel turn by all the shenanigans they were doing, feuding with the LWO guys. Come on, man.
See, Denisha thinks that Bianca's going to debut as the heel night one, too. I don't think so. I think you save that. I'll get into mine in a minute. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The War Raiders have not really gotten over with me, but tag team wrestling for the most part is almost dead in both companies, right? It's just not something I look forward to anymore. It doesn't have the pop. I'll put it to you this way, man. Back in the 80s, you could not touch tag team wrestling in the WWF or Jim Crockett. When you had the Hart Foundation and the Bulldogs and Demolition and the Midnight Express and the Rockers and all of the Road Warriors, of course, going down. Dude, I'm telling you, tag team wrestling in the 80s, we will never see that again. It was as good as it gets. But I think the New Day are too hot right now, and I think they win.
They're hot.
Yeah.
I disagree with you there. They're cold as ice to me. They were hot when they turned heel, and they wasted it by feuding with the LWO. What the hell was that all about? That was garbage. And then now you got the War Raiders who are coming back like they dropped the Viking gimmick. They're coming back like motorcycle enthusiasts. So that's what they look like now. And they're a hell of a wrestling tag team. But these two teams are not makeshift teams. See, back in the day, all those teams you mentioned were not makeshift teams.
No, they weren't.
They were teams that were put together by the promotion.
Yes.
With a name. These just like these two teams, the War Raiders and the New Day.
They're real tag teams, I agree. It's not two singles that got grouped up together.
Yeah.
So you're going with the War Raiders, huh?
I think I would have to go with the War Raiders because they've had the belts for what? A month?
Yeah, but again, it's WrestleMania, pal. So again, it's just a recap here so far. Mm-hmm. I've got El Grande. You've got El Grande? Or Ray?
I got El Grande with shenanigans, but he's going to cheat.
Jade versus Naomi. I got Jade. You got Naomi. No, you got Jade too.
I got Jade also. Yes, I got Jade also.
You're taking the War Raiders. I'm taking New Day. Okay, here's the match that I think leads off night one.
What do you got?
LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I think this match leads off night one. I think it sets the tone. I don't know if LA Knight's prepared for this. I got a feeling Jacob's going to throw some potatoes in this shit. And there's going to be some receipts paid. Jacob Fatu, to me, right now, is one of the hottest wrestlers in the entire industry. Everything this guy does, I get behind. I enjoy it. I love watching him. His movement looks... Dude, movement, when he moves in the ring, it looks like he means every damn thing he does.
The guy's that big, and, well, he's not big, but he's stout. He's stocky, and he can move that quick, man. It's just unbelievable. Freakish speed. I think that Jacob Fatu will win that title from LA Knight because LA Knight, much like Cody Rhodes, is a better babyface chasing the title rather than being the champion. The chase is what these two guys, Rhodes and Knight, are all about, not being the champions. So...
Denisha says Jacob. I'm also going Jacob. I hyped him up. I think he's going to win. But here's where it sucks. Because LA Knight's just now getting momentum again. You know what I mean? He's just now starting to bubble back. He's starting to rise to the cream of the crop, baby. The cream rises. And he's rising right now. And I hate to see him get shit on again. But if there's going to be a guy that's going to win and going to pin him, it's got to be Jacob, and it's just going to matter more, and maybe this catapults LA Knight into another role, chasing other gold. That's just my thought process. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. Just a reminder, we are going to try to do a show Saturday immediately following night one of WrestleMania and do a recap. So that's just my thoughts so far on night one.
Now, we still have a SmackDown to go. That's not pre-recorded, of course.
Yes, so we get that out. We get that tomorrow.
There could be stipulations on this LA Knight Jacob Fatu match. Could be stipulations. Could be stipulations on Jade and Naomi. And this is the first match ever on a WrestleMania, a women's match, that didn't have a belt involved. It might be the first match on a WrestleMania where there were no belts involved. There's no belt for the Naomi and Jade match.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But no, the women's match is on this first night for the championship.
I'm just saying, people have said, generally, when they're talking about WrestleManias, every match is for a championship, for a title.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's my other thing, right? Right now, it looks like there's at least 1 or 2 spots open on each night, because night 2 only has 6 matches announced so far. Night 1 has 7. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Give us a ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling.
Thank you all very much.
It's not going to kill you. Just subscribe.
So again, I think Jacob Fatu wins. I'm looking. This is probably the one match in this card outside of the main event that I'm really looking forward to the most, because like I said, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Don, do you think Solo turns on Jacob after the title win? I don't think he does it right away, but you can absolutely see that it's coming. I think Solo and Jacob are absolutely going to feud. I think that might lead into the Bad Blood or whatever it's called, Payback pay-per-view. Usually it's a rematch, a couple of rematches that you get. So we'll see. We'll see.
Who is Solo fighting at WrestleMania? Doesn't he have a match?
He's not. He doesn't have a match.
Aren't they working on that? Then who was?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's 1 or 2 matches that are left open for each night.
Randy Orton doesn't have.
That's
an
sort of
so they
yes.
teased it last Friday that it could be Solo because he came out and interrupted Orton and Aldis. So
right. So we'll see. The WWE Women's Championship match: Tiffany Stratton versus Flat Ass Charlotte Flair. And I don't know. Look, a month ago I'd have thought Charlotte was winning this. I'm going Tiffy right now. I think it's her time. I don't think you're going to see like I said last night, they try to keep the balance on these shows to where you have one main heel, one main face with a title, right? They've always sort of tried to balance it out that way. So it's not overly heavy in one place or another. I think Tiffany wins. I don't know that Charlotte has really done herself any favors in this entire push. Her winning the Royal Rumble was just unneeded and unwarranted. I didn't like it. You didn't like it. It just sort of felt like, really, she's got to win another Royal Rumble. We're going to get this again. She's been gone for a year, and she's getting thrown right back into the main event. And again, I like Charlotte. I've enjoyed her matches. I was hoping to see her and Rhea get their round, because they've got to have a best of 3 at one of these things eventually, right? Because they have great matches.
Right.
I don't want to see her win. I think it's Tiffany's time.
I think it's going to be Tiffany also. This is a match that I didn't want to see. I didn't want any part of it because it's Charlotte Flair involved. But now this has turned into a match that I want to see. I want to see if Charlotte Flair legit gets pissed off and gets a little stiff with Tiffany.
I'm glad you brought this up. Are we going to have a little, by the way, Denise, I don't know if you saw that. She's going for Tiffany as well. Yes. Are we going to see possibly some liberties taken, or maybe that doesn't work for me, brother type moments? Because I think Charlotte's got a lot of that in her sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's her father's daughter, dude. She's her father's daughter. And he felt the same way. He just didn't hear a lot about Flair, and that doesn't work for me, and I don't want to do that and this sort of thing. But Flair will give as good as he got in the ring. If you got stiff with him, he'd stiff you right back as a receipt. So, but he doesn't talk about that much.
He does not. Never happened.
His opponents do, but he doesn't talk about that much.
It's in the Rocky V file. It never happened.
Yes. So
I'm looking forward.
Tiffany.
You want to know something? I'm looking forward to this for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
This shit could go everywhere sideways at once and just become a disaster.
It could be a no contest. It could just be just outside the ring, counted out, throwing chairs through tables.
I'm glad you said
kendo
that. By the way,
sticks.
They said last night that no one announced that match between Mercedes Moné and big ass girl.
Athena.
They never said it was a no DQ or no count out. They never announced it. I didn't either. So just want to interject that again because we were curious about that. Here we go. The World Heavyweight Championship match, Jey Uso versus Gunther. Gunther is, again, he's one of my favorite wrestlers right now.
Yes.
That promo he cut on Monday Night Raw was absolutely great. Mm-hmm. He said, I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to shame you. I'm going to put you in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Awful, thanks for coming. How'd you throw you up here, brother? Because you do support the show so much. He said it wasn't DQ, so thank you. So we weren't alone last night. We were watching that bullshit live, man. I mean, it just went to hell. So, but again, here's the other part about this Gunther versus Jey Uso match. Jay can't come through the crowd. He'll be completely out of gas by the time he gets to the ring, and they'll have to restart this whole thing. This ramp is going to be huge, right? It's a long-ass ramp at Mania. He cannot be doing his happy dance and his bullshit the whole way, or this thing will just be a complete flop as soon as the bell rings. He'll be completely out of gas. I'm going to say this begrudgingly. I don't see how they don't put the title on Jey Uso after all of this hype. You cannot have this guy lose again, and he's totally over with this crowd base. I'm not a huge fan. You're not a huge fan. So we'll see where it goes.
Let me ask you this.
Your thoughts on who wins.
If Vince McMahon was still in charge of the company, if he was still running things, would he put the belt on Jey Uso?
Hell fucking no.
No.
Because he would see a monster heel, because that's what Gunther is. He's a monster heel. Something he always strived to get and could never really get a guy that could talk and work in the ring all at the same time. Right? That's something he always wanted.
If you took a Nazi and crossed it with Killer Kowalski, that's what you've got with Gunther. A big gangly guy, a broad-shouldered son of a gun who throws hands. He's stiff. When you're in the ring with Gunther, you know you're in the ring. And is Jey Uso going to have a musical artist in his presentation, in his entrance?
Oh, God,
Will there be a rapper coming out? I think there is. I think he mentioned he wanted to have somebody.
God, no.
I think so. I think something's going to happen. I think he's going to have a musical guest.
It's just me, Oos. Why do I need anybody else rapping for me?
I hope they got a golf cart or a tram to go down that ramp.
Dude, they've got to have something, because if you have him oosing out the whole way down, he's going to pass out in the ring. You better get his ass an oxygen mask down there.
This is the visual they want. This is the visual they want. They want all those people doing the entrance along with them, throwing the hands up in the air, and the whole 9 yards.
Gunther always, to me, reminds me of a throwback wrestler. He's in shape, but he doesn't have the muscles of Hulk Hogan, but you can tell he's a bigger guy, right?
Right. Right. And the booking of Gunther, they've done him no favors.
No, because they have not. I'm not saying they have, but I like the guy. I buy everything he says. Holy shit, here we go.
Marco Mattacoli, greetings from the family.
Interested to see where they go with Jay as champ after Mania. First feud, maybe heel Zayn. Ooh. Sammy going heel on Jay. I love to see that. Hope Braun Breaker takes the title of SummerSlam from him. You know, that would be awesome if that would happen, Marco. Thanks for the $5. Appreciate it. Thank you for being a repeat viewer of ours. Yes.
I'm
about that. Jay versus Sammy, first feud.
Sammy would look. We both got our thoughts about Sammy. If you let Sammy have free reign, he's going to turn into a backyard shit show every time.
Yes.
And that's sort of always been my issue with him. I don't want it to become that. I don't mind the thought of that. I think Sami Zayn's a better heel than he is a face, to be quite honest. I just feel like he's more natural that way. He's got a lot of things to hate about him. He's got a lot of things you want to boo about him. And again, Brother Fluff, glad to have you back, brother. Everybody hit that like and subscribe button, baby. We need some support here. Jay will become the new WWE heavy. That's gold.
Heavy
That's
champion.
Great.
Heavy weight champion.
That's so great.
I still say if Ilya Dragunov didn't get hurt, if he didn't blow out his knee and destroy it, he would be facing Gunther for that belt.
I agree, but it's just this is where
he won't be back till September, they say.
John JD says, bring out all the rappers to piss off the old fans. I like rap. I was listening to, dude, I mean, I love old school rap. I like good rap. I just don't like bad rap. That's where I sort of am, man. I don't like bad rap. Here's what I can't stand, right? Prime example, Hook's music coming to the ring. I can't understand a goddamn thing, anything that's being said in his song in the history of ever. I'll tell you that much. I can't understand shit he's saying.
The rap
what I would like to see is the mumble rap is just trash.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't wrap my head around it.
I was listening
Give
to
me some good old jump around. Give me Bust a Move. Young MC. It takes two to make a thing go right.
Who
was that? Rob Bass.
I took the wife to go get some breakfast on Saturday. I said, you know what you need in your life right now, woman? She said, what's that? I said, you need some cream. She's like, what? Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
Jesus Christ.
And then I had Wu-Tang jamming.
Oh, the old dirty bastard.
Live and uncut.
Hey, dirty. Baby, I got your money. What a song that is.
What a great rapper. Gone too soon. Rest in peace. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit that notifications button because we've got another match. We both agree Jay wins. We both agree he may be out of gas by the time he gets to the ring. And this could go to shit real quick. But we've got the triple threat match on night one.
Main event.
CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And some of the shit that Seth Rollins has been dropping has been getting my attention as of late. He quoted John Cena and The Rock on Raw this past week. What's right for business. Going into this, I thought for shit sure it was going to be CM Punk. I'm starting to have my doubts. I'm starting to wonder if The Rock is involved in this because, again, he held up that figure that showed 3, meaning there's supposed to be a third guy. I think Rollins is going to pull this off now. I've sort of changed my mind. Shh. Be quiet, woman.
Didn't I tell you that? Did I tell you that Heyman is going to go with Rollins and be Rollins' manager?
He's not going with Rollins.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I'm telling you, it's going to be The Rock. If anybody interferes with this, it's going to be The Rock.
He's an innovator. He's a prognosticator.
He's a masturbator.
Hey now.
I'm going with Rollins. I hate to say it. I think he's going to win now. He will not be who I pull for. I will be pulling for Punk. I feel like he's earned this moment at Mania. He has absolutely helped this company ever since he got there. That's just my opinion. Some people don't like Punk, and that's fine. You don't have to like him. I like the guy.
Nick Khan said, everyone said the man was a cancer. And then when he comes into the company, he's the opposite of being a cancer. He helps everybody.
It sort of worked out for him, right?
It's worked out for him, yeah.
Okay.
But he's an opinionated guy. He's got his high opinions about professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And he's got some old school to him and new school mixed together. He's an amalgamation of both ends of the fence, basically.
He's clearly looking to get another job after his wrestling career is over. You see him angling in NXT. He's giving these people ideas. He's helping these young wrestlers out. I tip my hat to him because whatever happened to him in AEW, I want to thank Tony Khan because you have completely reinvigorated this man with his love for wrestling. So thank you very much for stepping on your own dick in that regard, jackass.
Shawn Michaels has even said that CM Punk's a changed man. He says, I can see when I ride off into the sunset, this guy coming in and taking over, training these kids and booking NXT. So I could see that. Yeah.
I mean, Shawn Michaels eventually has to retire, right? He has to eventually. He's got to be in his 60s by now, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he is. I think he's gonna ride that train down there, high on cocaine, with the Google eye, until they tell him that he's got to leave. That's what I think.
I'm on a train with cocaine.
Who did that song? Riding that train, high on cocaine.
Wasn't that the Grateful Dead?
Casey Jones, something. I don't know.
Denisha says she thinks it's Rollins too because of stuff on social media, pictures of him wearing things like rocket media pictures.
Yes. There was some, wasn't there like a WrestleMania? Not a WrestleMania. Wasn't there another pay-per-view presentation where he was dressed like The Rock with the black sweater and the gold chain? And then one time he came out that one time he came out in the Shield gear.
Yeah. I mean, I
callbacks.
I sort of feel like it's going that way.
Callbacks.
On to night 2. Right now, night 2 has, like I said, 6 championships. I could speak words. 6 matches, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now, yes. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul in a.
This will open the show. No, this is this is night 2. So it's not going to open the show. If that report's
we've covered
correct,
all of night 1.
If the reports are correct, that the 3-way women's match
this is correct.
with Rhea and Io
unless something changes tomorrow.
Yes, unless something changes tomorrow. But they say that the women's match will open. I think the AJ Styles match will be second. Let people cool down a little bit from what they just saw. But I think they might try to steal the show.
AJ and Logan?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's going to be a damn good match. I think they're going to do a lot of crazy shit. There's going to be some high spots. I want to say AJ said publicly here recently, like he's only got another year or two left. He doesn't want to wrestle past a certain age. I don't remember what he said
50.
it was. Was it 50? Okay.
I think so.
So I don't know if he's going to make it that far because his body is starting to break down. He cannot wrestle like he used to. His terms is the frequency, right? And I sort of think he's sort of figuring that out. Like, okay, I'm getting there. I can't keep doing this. But I think Logan Paul wins this match. I just feel like they're going to keep pushing this guy. I think eventually Logan Paul is going to have the heavyweight championship belt around his waist. I think that's where he's headed. I really do.
Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the belt.
SummerSlam.
Could be. What about the Ring General? What happens to him? He just falls off the face of the earth? They got to have plans for Gunther.
Raw. I think he might be headed to SmackDown, on the draft.
What are they going to do the draft? They said right after WrestleMania, right?
It usually is.
You're going to get call-ups. You're going to have call-ups galore.
Well, we talked about this. Who did you say? Who the hell you keep saying better avoid the fucking phone? After Mania. Anisha said she's going for Logan Paul.
Everybody in the LWO, don't answer your phone after WrestleMania. That's all I can say. I don't care if they do that great spot where that kid, the two guys hold down the top rope and he makes a flying leap onto the top rope and they let it go and he's shot off like a slingshot 40 feet down the aisleway, landing on a group of people. That's a great visual for TV and a pay-per-view, but that doesn't save your career. And Casey Catanzaro and what's the other chicks?
The race car driver?
No, the two party girls who do the cake stand
left all day.
The ones that do the cake stand. Bit.
I don't know
smaller
who they
girls.
Are now.
The only thing saving them is the fact that the one girl lives with Damian Priest.
Who are the girls that used to be in the 3L Club?
The what?
The 3L Club.
The 3L Club.
Yeah.
The what?
Shayna Baszler and her partner. They better stay away from the phones too.
Yes, unfortunately, they better stay away from their phones. Don't answer their phones.
Put that shit on block numbers. So we're going to see.
Tonga
Who are you
Leoa.
taking, AJ Styles, or are you taking Logan Paul? Yes, Zoe Stark. Thank you. She better stay the hell away from the phone.
What about the great Tonga Leoa, who's out hurt right now?
Dude, some of them cats. Okay, look. I think we can openly admit that bringing in those two guys, it ain't working, pal. Send their ass home. It's just unneeded and unwarranted, and it adds nothing to the product. It sounded like a great idea at the time. Mm-hmm. Now it looks like I got Temu Bloodline on my damn television now. Those guys are botch fest waiting to happen.
They got two guys at NXT. Hikuleo, the real big guy. They're actually talking about him now. The real tall Samoan.
Hikuleo.
Huh? Hikuleo Figaro.
Magnifico.
I'm just a poor Samoan down in NXT.
Please call me up. I need to get some payday, please.
Don't answer your phone, Tonga Leoa.
You're fine.
Or Loa, whatever the hell his name is. You know what I'm talking about. The one's always hurt.
Styles or Logan Paul?
I'm taking Logan Paul.
All right, it's a three-way match. Here we go.
And I'm taking Logan Paul. And AJ Styles is going to be like, I lost again.
And here's the match that nobody asked for, but we're getting it anyway. The Sin City Street Fight with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Has anybody fallen as hard and as fast as Damian Priest is in the past year in this company? It has been, he was at the world title at WrestleMania a year ago, and now I don't want to see the guy on my television.
They took Rhea Ripley away from him.
And that turns out that was the heater for him.
And look at the Judgment Day. The only thing saving the Judgment Day right now is Liv Morgan.
And Damian Priest. I mean, not Damian Priest. Jesus Christ. Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic Mysterio, yes. And the rumor is there's going to be a new member of the Judgment Day.
I've got a feeling I know who it is.
I think that they're going to have a Slavic. No. It's going to be a Slavic member of
Who are you thinking it is?
Rusev.
Oh,
they already have plans for Rusev. Dude. He signed his contract. He's ready to go. And it won't be it's not going to be Lana. Lana's not going to be with him, they say. She's not signed by WWE. So they claim. I think Rusev is going to be joining the Judgment Day. So it could be Rusev Day in the Judgment Day.
Drew McIntyre has to win this. I don't want to talk about
to.
this too much, but he has to, right?
He has to.
I hate to say this, but Damian Priest, you've got to show me something here in the next 6 months, or this might be your last Mania, pal. Because the promos aren't working. The in-ring work ain't really hitting on shit. You're botching a lot of moves. I liked the guy a year ago. They took Rhea Ripley away, like you said. I don't want to get too involved in this because I just don't give a shit. That was a new hit.
If you were booking, what would you do with Damian Priest? When this match is over, of course, what would you do with him? Put him in a tag team?
No, man. I got to hit a hard reset on him. There's got to be a hard reset. There's got to be a hard reset.
Yeah.
Put him over here until you've got an idea on what to do with him. Write him off TV, off to the side on the sideboard. That says, shit, I got to figure out because it ain't working. Because this ain't working. Denisha is with us. She's going for Drew. I agree, Denisha. Yep. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notifications button. Super chat is open. You got something you want to say, let us know. I'm moving on from this match like I've got the clout. Fatal 4-way match. I've got the clout. I've got the clout. I've got the clout to walk away. I don't have to talk about it anymore.
Go ahead.
Fatal 4-way match, and I can't wait to watch this. Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. I have been waiting for this moment for 3 years. Just to quote Ric Flair, this is the greatest moment of my life. I have been waiting to crown Dominic Mysterio with a meaningful belt. I believe it's finally going to happen. I think this is what gets him out and gets him on TV as a face. I think Finn Balor turns on him in this match, and he ends up pinning Finn Balor to win the championship.
I don't think so. I think there's going to be shenanigans, of course. I think this is where you'll see the debut of Rusev as a member of the Judgment Day. And he will interfere in this match and take out somebody so that he'll probably take out Braun Breaker, because that would be a great feud. Braun Breaker versus Rusev. They've got to turn Breaker face. They've got to. Or make him a tweener. He's a tweener now.
He's a tweener now. Yeah. Just keep him. I don't think you need to do anything with Braun Breaker. You're either going to boo the guy or cheer him. I'm going to cheer the shit out of him. I think he's amazing. I think Braun Breaker is about to get the major push at about. Start watching out at Survivor Series. I got a feeling he's going to be pushing for one of these world titles next year, in my opinion. I think this was a nice intermediate step, but it's time to put on some big boy pants and go get some big boy shit.
Change Damien into a Puerto Rican rapper. There you go. Thanks for the 2 spot, Pablo. I know what you could do with Damian Priest.
Bad Bunny's coming back.
Make him a priest. Father Damien.
Oh, Lord. We're doing that again? I bless this match in the name of all that is holy.
There you
go.
Now
let me kick your ass. So who are you taking? Because I'm taking Mysterio, man. I'm sorry.
I'm taking Mysterio also. Mysterio. I had that.
Are you really?
I had that in the back of my mind 2 weeks ago when they announced this match.
Thank you, Pablo,
or whatever, 3 weeks ago when they announced this match. I said, this is when they're going to do it. He's done too much for the Judgment Day faction and got it all over and did the whole 9 yards. And
keep talking. Got to give Denisha some love. That's all I'm saying.
And they've got to give the kid a belt. They got to give him a belt.
It's time, right?
It's got to be a singles title, and this is perfect. He doesn't have to hold it for months and months and months. He doesn't have to.
I got a serious question, though.
What's that?
Can you turn him face at all? The crowd loves to boo the shit out of this guy. They love it.
The way you turn him face is to have him...
You can turn him face. I'm just asking, do you?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, you said.
You turn him face when his father's getting his ass handed to him during the summer in his retirement match by El Grande Americano. And what are they? American Males, American Made. What are they? The Creed Brothers now. What's that new faction called?
I have no idea. El Americano's backup.
El Americano backup singers, yes.
Donde está tu casa?
Yes, the Starbuck brothers, the Starbuck twins from El Grande Americano. Did you see that Twitter picture? Someone made a Starbucks cup with his face, the mask. I'd like to order El Grande Americano, please.
I have not seen that.
Yes, but that's what I would do. I would do.
American Made apparently is the name of the
American Made. Very good.
Thank you, John. So there you go. We're moving on now to the women's tag team match with Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Liv and Gonzo. There you go. Braun versus Jacob after Mania. I don't think you pushed that yet, Warrior. I think that's something you've got to save down the line. I think we'll get there eventually, but you gotta put that one in your bag for a Mania moment, right? Like that's got to be where that debuts. You might see them two cats going for the same title a year from now, maybe. Just a thought.
But they're on separate brands. They have to wait till see what happens with the draft before we could fantasy book in the future. I bet if Dom wins, Liv, get him some nuggets that he loves so much. Add the tendies, the chicken tendies. Yes.
The tendies are great. It is the hot pockets of their world.
Absolutely.
Look, man, I'm not ecstatic about this night 2 matchup with the women's tag match. This sort of feels like let's throw some shit on here. Let's give Bayley a bone, have her on the show. I feel like Bayley's going to turn heel at the end of this match. I don't think you take the belts off Liv and Raquel Gonzo. I just don't care about this match. I like Liv Morgan. She has grown on me as a fan, but just the randomness of Bayley and Lyra is just, I can't get behind this, Bottles, and maybe I'm alone here, but there's nothing for me to sink my teeth into on this. Well, back to you. I would say that Liv and Raquel retain. I think Lyra and Bayley are both outstanding female wrestlers. And I think Bayley's done a lot with what she's been handed. And I think they're trying to elevate Lyra Valkyria. So she's just not defending that belt like once a month or once every 2 months when they pull her out of catering. So Pablo the Real One with $4.99. At Denisha, was that the income tax return that came in? Just kidding. He's just kidding. We appreciate everybody's support. Thank you very much, Pablo. We appreciate all of y'all, man. Denisha has been coming in strong lately. I promise you. Yes, she has. He's coming in hot. Y'all gonna see all my comments. It's WrestleMania weekend. You're gonna see all this shit I got to say on this show tonight. Square Circle Mania is gonna see everything I got to see. That's it. That's it. It's a big weekend for wrestling fans. Huge weekend. And I can't wait. Here we go. Here's the match. This is probably the match that has the most appealing. This shit could go wrong at any moment on night 2. The Women's World Championship match. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. And there it is. He just threw it up there, so I throw it back up. Salute to you. He's just kidding. We all kid. Salute. I'm looking forward to this. This is the night that I think you see Bianca Belair finally go full heel. I think Naomi comes down. I think Naomi gets involved in this match. I think Naomi gets involved with Rhea Ripley and causes her to not win. And Io Sky is going to take this pin. I think Bianca Belair is about to be off and running as the mega bitch in charge. And I'm looking forward to seeing this happen. But the match could go horrible. Ashton Chevalier with a $2 spot. Give Braun the Buff Bagwell Gigolo gimmick. No, do not do that. Do anything but that, Ashton. Do anything but that. Try that with Damian Priest. Hello, my name is Damian Priest. I agree, Denisha. Bayley turning heel would be good for her career. I think that's where she's at right now. I am Damian Priest. And she also agrees. She thinks it's Bianca. So what do you got, Bottles? I am Damian Priest. I think you're a lovely woman, Miss Liv. Come to me. Come to Damian. What the fuck are you doing? The Latin lover. He could be the gigolo. No. I don't want to hear about him. Give Braun the Buff Bagwell Gigolo. I do not want to hear about him getting his bag shaved by his mom in front of his roommate. That doesn't need to happen. Ever. Mom, don't nick it again, Mom. Come on. Hold still. That? Hold still, honey. Hold still. I just nicked your huevos. Oh, my God. There's a reason they called him Bagwell. Bagwell, because his bag was a well. Who do you got, Bottles, and why? You think that it's going to happen night 1 with Naomi revealing Bianca is the heel. I think it doesn't make sense because you're going to give that away before they go into the match of night 2. I think you show it on night 2 and surprise everybody. I don't think a lot of people are buying into it. You give it away on night 1 so that Bianca's booed when she comes out for that match, and Jade Cargill runs in to get her. Jade Cargill runs in
to kick Bianca's ass because in a three-way match, according to WWE rules, there's no disqualifications, whatsoever.
Which is the dumbest
Anything
shit
goes.
ever.
Right. So
But
they're
again,
all going to
hold
run
on.
in.
I got to throw a technical foul on you. How does it help to have Bianca win a match and become the champion if she gets the shit kicked out of her by an outside interfere? That doesn't add up in me in my wrestling math. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
What do you think they have planned for
Commercial
Cargill?
pause.
What do you think they have planned for Cargill? You
I
think they're going to put the belt on her
Hell no.
at one point in time? No?
No.
Okay. Well, then Bianca won't win the belt because
Bianca's winning the belt.
Bianca will win the belt and Jade Cargill will face Bianca at one of these shows for the belt.
And Jade will lose. Got newsflash, she's going to lose. Because Naomi's going to interfere.
Well, if that happens, it happens. There's a lot of moving parts of this match, pal. There's going to be a lot of hijinks and shenanigans. Don't forget about Io Sky's friends. Kairi Sane is healthy. She looks like she's coming back. Asuka, she's been out for over a year. So,
well, she's having to deal with stalking ass psychopaths. Just saying.
So is Tiffany Stratton with Charlotte Flair and her assless chaps. This girl was chasing me down the street. I got out of my car. She was chasing me. And all of a sudden, her ass fell off. What are you doing? You all right?
I'm ready to talk about the undisputed WWE Championship.
There's a lot going on there, pal. There's a lot going on.
Cody Rhodes. You see where I'm going with this, but you don't know how far I'm going to fucking take it, Bottles. This is the big surprise I told you I'd have tonight. Look at this thing. Look at the size of this thing. I got a 40-gallon fucking head. Look at the size of this belt. This shit's ridiculous, dude. Look at this shit. Look at my face. I am the champ. The champ is here. It's Cena's time. He's going to break the record. It's go time. Cody Rhodes is better off chasing. We fucking go.
What is happening to you right now? What is going on with you? 6 more of those things, you're going to turn into Conrad Thompson. And you'll be doing a show like this the whole time. When I'm talking, you're going to be rocking back and forth in your chair like a psychopath. With all those belts on the top of the magic windows. Hanging off the magic windows. The belts.
That might happen.
It could. It could. I think that Cena is going to take the belt from Cody Rhodes. I think he's going to be the champ. But will they send everyone home unhappy on night 2?
In the words of a famous wrestler, fuck these fans. It's time. You're going to set the record. Cena wins. It's go time, pal. And then you're going to have a part-time champion that's going to piss the fans off to no end.
I think Cena's going to win, and they're going to try to beat down Cody.
They're going to kick the shit out of Cody.
And then someone's going to come to his rescue, maybe a group of people, and help fight off all that. And maybe, I don't know. It's hard. All the air is going to be let out of that whole stadium when this happens. That whole all the air is going to be gone.
I think the arena's going to blow either way. I think the arena's going to blow.
I hope they go crazy and they're throwing stuff in the ring, going bananas. Throwing John Cena shirts in the ring, the caps, the armbands, the whole 9 yards. Throw all his merch in the ring at him. Cups. Food,
I'm taking
whatever.
my fandom to a level that's probably mentally off.
Probably mentally off. And that's what
Larry
I was
says,
thinking.
how much does that
out.
belt weigh? That bitch really is 10 pounds. No
it's
bullshit. It's about 10 pounds. It's absolutely amazing. I got a few belts. I don't have a lot. I've got the big gold belt. I've got this one. And I got to be honest, this one, the gold version of this is starting to win me over more than the big gold belt is. It really is. How was that delivered? You said someone pulled up and a woman in a car. Denisha says Stone Cold for the rescue. He's going to be there. He's going to be there night 1 or night 2, excuse me, I believe. He's got to get involved with The Rock, right, at some point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah. So we'll see about that one. Look at this.
So, with surprise appearances, Stone Cold, I think Rusev,
The Rock.
The Rock, I think Kairi Sane's coming back, Asuka's coming back.
I'm looking forward to this WrestleMania just because the card is pretty good overall. There's only a few matches I don't give a shit about.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. Look, there have been WrestleManias where I wasn't really into the whole buildup. It didn't have the best buildup. And then it shocked me on how good it was, right? Like that's sort of one of those things. I feel like this might be one of those moments where it wasn't overly great. And then boom, it was just something you don't want to miss. I hope that's what we get this week, and I'm looking forward to it. Bottles,
when is Aleister Black coming back?
Oh, let me look at my clock. Yep, says right here, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit o'clock.
I don't give a shit o'clock.
I think he's coming back. If they bring him back, they might bring him back at WrestleMania. Could be.
They could.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
Randy Orton's opponent.
Well, that's what we're going to find out tomorrow, and I think it's going to be
Rusev.
No, what the
Aleister
shit
Black.
What is
Solo
with you and
Sikoa.
these guys? It's
Solo
Solo.
Sikoa. Yes.
Why? Why are you this way sometimes?
And what about the Street Profits, pal? The Street Profits are going to be defending the tag titles.
I think that's one of those,
tomorrow.
that might be the undercard show. You know what I mean? Like they do that every year. That feels like that's one of those undercard before the actual PLE goes on. Here's the Street Profits. They put on a match. Nobody sees
it's not going to be on the pre-show. It's not going to be on the pre-show. It's going to be on SmackDown tomorrow night.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yes. It's going to be SmackDown tomorrow night. They just did an interview. And they were asking the guys, doesn't that devalue the tag titles? And Dawkins said, I'd be lying if I said I want to ride the pine. But sometimes you got to play your role. You got to ride the bench sometimes. But hey, guess what? We on SmackDown, we're going to defend the titles. It is what it is.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our WrestleMania preview. I'm looking forward to watching this. I do want to cover one other bit of piece. Have you seen the WrestleMania 9 show on Peacock yet?
No, I have not.
All right, well then I'll cover this shit. WrestleMania 9 is probably my least favorite WrestleManias. I didn't like it as a kid. I've watched it in retrospect, and it's still not one of my favorite ones ever. Right. However, what they did for this WrestleMania broke the mold and set the standard for what they would do for all future WrestleManias. This was, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, was it really? This was the first WrestleMania that they set a stage up for. Mm-hmm. This was the very first one. This set the standard for how they wanted to present WrestleManias moving forward. Because they did a few shows after this where they didn't have a stage, and then Vince was like, I gotta have a stage moving forward. I want to go back to WrestleMania 9. They showed how they had this whole goddamn thing was done in a parking lot. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
It was literally in a parking lot. And was it 91 or 92? I can't remember. Do you remember which year it was?
I think it was 92.
1993, actually. So holy shit.
93.
We're telling ourselves off. Yeah, 93. I didn't realize it was that late. But this whole thing was set up by, it was a weird conglomeration of the up-and-coming guys in the company and the old guard. Guys like the Macho Man were on commentary. Hulk Hogan got thrown out at the last minute because to the casual fan, he was still the guy. Like people still wanted to have their Hulk Hogan moment. He wasn't even supposed to be on the card 2 months before this shit went down. Did you know that? He wasn't even on the card. So they were telling him, look, we got bad ticket sales. We got to do something. So they called up Hogan. He was like, okay, you need me to come in, brother? I got you. They did this in a parking lot. They pulled in bleachers, literally just bleachers that held 15, 16,000 people in the sweltering sun of Las Vegas and just sat them on this tarmac and said, enjoy the show. The cameras backstage. They had never shot people backstage after a match before this show. And this all happened after the Lex Luger match where, Mr. Perfect went chasing down Lex Luger and got into an altercation with Shawn Michaels, which then set up their future feud. There were all of these interconnecting stories that I just found fascinating. And it sort of clicked on me on why I didn't like it, because they were changing the way that wrestling had always been shown and portrayed on television.
The way it was presented. Yeah, a lot of people would push back against that sort of thing.
Yes.
Because they're thinking outside the box. That's one thing you could say about the our scat lover, the scat-loving ex-CEO of the company. He did like thinking outside the box, those kind of ideas. If you came to him with a crazy idea, he would, this was never going to go for that. He'll never go for that. And somebody would walk into his office and pitch something outlandish, and he'd say, God damn it, pal, get with Patterson. We're going to make this happen.
And the one thing about this whole card that I remembered, other than the Hulk Hogan's insane black eye, was the two Doinks that beat up on Crush, because Crush kicked the shit out of Doink in this whole match. And then suddenly there's a second Doink the Clown coming out of the ring, whooping his ass with a cast, a little arm cast, just beating him like he owed him money. And then they do the spot where they mimic each other and laugh. And I was like, that's incredible. That is incredible. That even 30 years later, Bottles, that's insane that they thought this up. And again, it was as a young fan and then watching it now, I've got a whole different appreciation for it. This was Bobby's big entrance on the back on a camel, riding it backwards.
Dude, I was just going to ask you about that. Is this the one where he was backwards on a camel? Yes.
No one knew he was going to do that. No one knew he was going to do it. It was incredible. Everybody was laughing. When he got off the camel, he fell all over the place like he was drunk. And as he was bending over, you could see it. He was signaling to the Macho Man, lift up my damn, my toga. Lift my toga up to show off my bloomers. Macho Man lifts it up, and he's literally got nothing but his underwear on. And he throws it back, and he falls into the ring and falls down again. Bobby the Brain Heenan was one of one.
He was amazing, man. Just absolutely amazing. Yeah, he did.
Big Todd worked Mania 9. Yeah.
He did, as a young boy.
Did you
see that pic?
I did see some pictures of it online, I want to say, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ashley.
But this is worth your time on Peacock. I'd highly recommend it. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
What was
and
the
the wrestlers.
What was the main?
I think it was called Elephant Shit and Other Things that happened. I can't remember what it's called, but
no,
it's right on.
I didn't say name. I said, what was the main event? The main.
Oh, the main event was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna.
Oof.
And that's when Hulk Hogan ran down after he got the rice stone in his eyes, and Bret told him to go in there and pin him and beat him up. Mm-hmm. And then they had an impromptu match that wasn't on the card, that once again set the standard for you got to watch, because you never know what's going to happen in the WWF.
Right.
So
and that's all the cock.
Yeah. It's so worth a watch. If you've got an hour and a half, I highly recommend it. It's great. The other part about this that got my attention were wrestlers were extremely uncomfortable with somebody backstage with a camera, because it had never been done.
Right.
They talked to the Undertaker, who had the biggest zit I've ever seen in my life on his nose that needed to get popped before they started filming this. It was absurd. Somebody should have done something when they were putting makeup on him. Like, let me see if I got your zit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Unbelievable.
But they showed the Undertaker backstage, and he was mean mugging the guy with the camera, because kayfabe is all they had back then. And He was pissed off. And they showed all the wrestlers asking them, why are y'all filming me? What's with this camera? Hey, man, what the hell is this? And you get a young Shawn Michaels where they're filming him sitting in a chair, and he's just shooting the shit. But he's in his underwear underneath the camera. And Shawn Michaels looks at his part and goes, who the hell thought that shot was a good idea? It's so worth the watch. I highly recommend it. I thought it was great. I got reminded of the Head Shrinkers, and they had the match with the Steiner brothers where, bro, there were some potatoes.
Yes.
When that match was over, everybody was Irish.
Tonga Kid and Samu. Who was it?
Shit, if you'd asked me, I could have told you. I can't remember now.
I'm trying to figure out who that iteration of the Head Shrinkers.
I don't think it was a Tonga Kid, though. I want to say it wasn't.
Tonga Kid, the father of Jacob Fatu.
Maybe it was him then. Rikishi, as he later became known. I'm almost positive Bottles, but don't quote me. So it's on the peak.
He was just called Fatu back then.
Yeah, it was Fatu. It was Fatu.
Fatu. So Samu and Fatu. Samu.
Samu and Fatu. Yes.
There you go.
Correct.
There you go.
By the way, it is on Peacock. So if you get a chance tonight, take a look at it. I highly enjoyed it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I want to thank you all for your support. I want to thank you all for the super chats, for the chats itself. I want to thank everybody who tuned in last night. I thought we had a really good time. Mm-hmm. If you had fun, tell your grandma, tell your friends, tell your wrestling fans. Check out the Squared Circle Maniacs. We're trying to do some different shows, if you will, baby. So we're going to do a little bit different this weekend.
And we're going to have next week, probably Tuesday, we're going to...
Looking that way.
It's looking that way. So we'll be sitting in on another show. Another
venturing
IWC.
Outside of our capital box.
Yes. Don, I know you're a fan of the comic book movies. You're a comic book guy from
if they're
way
good,
back in the
yeah.
day. If they're good,
if they're good.
They just dropped a trailer for the Fantastic Four, Marvel's version of the Fantastic.
I saw that. Yes.
You see that today?
Yes, I did.
Not the teaser trailer. It was a full-blown
trailer. No, I saw
trailer.
the trailer. Yes.
What did you think of that?
It has potential, but I don't know where they're going with it into the Marvel universe because it's an alternate futuristic past timeline. So it's a little weird.
Like a sci-fi version of the 1960s.
Yes,
it's set
exactly.
And they have a female Silver Surfer instead of the male Silver Surfer.
Not a fan of that.
Not a fan of that. Didn't like the special effects. The Silver Surfer's got eyeballs, and
which is stupid.
Yeah, the iris and the pupils and all that stuff. And I like the Thing. It's probably the most comic book accurate version of the Thing.
The Thing looks, very accurate.
Yes. And
so I might actually watch this. I'll figure out a way to stream it.
Have to check it out. I don't like Pedro Pascal though.
I'm not a fan of his either lately.
No. Let's see if he can win me over playing Reed Richards. I don't know. Jury's still out. I just want to see if you saw it.
You know who didn't like him either?
Who? Pedro Pascal?
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.